The year was 2008. At the time, I was a pretty casual sports car fan, but was gradually getting more and more invested in the American Le Mans series. It was an incredible boom period for sports car racing in the United States. At Petit Le Mans this year, there were Peugeot, there were Audi, there were several Porsche RS Spyders in this car, the Acura ARX, represented by 4 IndyCar teams. So it was an absolutely fantastic mix of some of the most beautiful and advanced prototypes the world had seen up until that point. And when I tuned into the Petit Le Mans for 2008, I was treated to one of the classic races of all time. I won't spoil it, but it was a fantastic battle between many of the front-running teams and had a car go from several laps down to competing for the win at the end of the proceedings. So, in celebration of that, we are here in Forza Motorsport 4, a game which I spent many an hour in my high school days investing in and racing at, particularly in these cars at this track, Road Atlanta. So we are going to recreate the 2008 Petit Le Mans with the accurate cars and drivers, well, not the drivers, but the accurate cars and the accurate classes of that day, at least for the prototypes. There's only a 12-car field allowed in Forza, so that's what we're going to be working with. I'm going to be driving this Acura ARX 01B. The reason that I'm driving this particular car is A, because the Patron car was not allowed to be officially licensed into the game, so the community had to design this particular livery, but also because this year, 2018's Petit Le Mans, 10 years after this car raced, will be the final race for Patron at all in racing, as they are pulling out of motorsports come the end of the year. So it's a send-off to Patron and a tribute to one of the races that made me not only a sports car fan, but a massive fan of the Road Atlanta circuit. Enjoy. So we're ready to go here. 20 laps, 50 miles. We're starting right at the back of the field in the Patron Highcroft Racing Acura, so we're going to have to see if we can come through the field. The Andretti Green Acura is starting in front of me, as well as the Lowe's Fernandez Acura. A little bit of a stack up there. The Lowe's car gets slowed up. The Dyson Racing Porsche Spyder. Ooh, a little bit of contact there at the start. Damaged my front just slightly. That was a nice back up there at the start. Look at everybody. As we head into the S's, I had to lock the brakes up. You can see the AI in Forza aren't the best, especially compared to a lot of what we have in modern racing sims. I don't know if we'll even get up to the P1 cars at this rate, as the Andretti Acura goes way out to the outside. We're going to get maybe get a chance at one of the Penske Spyders down here. Nope, not going to happen. There are 3 Penske RS Spyders in this race, as there were in real life at the Petit Le Mans that year. They entered an extra car for their IndyCar drivers, Elio Castroneves and Ryan Briscoe. And spoiler alert, they actually ended up winning the racing class. So it was pretty cool. But as we head down the backstretch, you'll notice on the mini-map there are red and blue dots. The red dots are the LMP1 prototypes, the Peugeot 908, and the 2 Audi R10s in this particular race. So those cars may be the ones to beat, though I did BOP them a little bit, took away a little bit of their grip level and a little bit of their power to try to rein them in a little bit and get a little bit better of a battle with the P2 cars. As the Penske Porsche Spyder are on the outside of me down there in the final corner. We complete lap number 1. Oh, out on the grass. That was a bit of a mistake. We fall back to last. I'm playing on a controller because I don't have a wheel that's compatible with the Xbox 360, though I used to. And boy, let me tell you, I put in hours and hours and hours on that wheel. I actually broke one of the paddles off and had to stick my finger in there to upshift. I just pressed the button that the paddle would usually actuate, which is kind of funny. So I got my middle finger very worked out when I was playing Forza 4, and it wasn't just because I was mad at the game. So, okay, we can try to get the IndyCar teams right here. The Penske RS Spyder, oh, good lord, out on the grass. Yeah, the grass is kind of deadly in Forza 4. Oh, and the Acura, the Andretti Acura, is actually making a move for position there, going around for 10th spot overall. But the Penske Porsche fighting back on the inside. We're going to try to battle with the Andretti car. The AI always brake check through the final corner here at Road Atlanta, so you have to be careful of that. We're going to go side by side with the Andretti green Acura. It wasn't Andretti Autosport at that point, and we're going to go around the Andretti Acura. Now set our sights on the Penske Porsche, then the Dyson Porsche, then I think the Lowe's Fernandez car, and then two of the Penske Porsches. It seems like the LMP1 cars have maybe gotten out front. I think a P2 car did start on the pole, but he didn't stay there for very long, though they are keeping up. The whole field is staying pretty well close together. No pit stops or anything are going to be required in this race. Forza 4 doesn't really allow you to do many pit stops. The fuel tanks are absolutely godlike in this game. Oh, look at that side by side with the Penske Porsche RS Spider down the back straightaway here at Road Atlanta. Side draft. Oh my God, we did side draft there. There was a little bit of contact. You saw the damage on the Penske RS Spider. He's still there. That RS Spider has a little bit more top end puff, I suspect. But we're going to use the chicane to our advantage, get around the Penske Spider. So there we go. Now we're going to be looking at the Dyson Racing Porsche RS Spider. There are two of those cars in this race, and that's not even going to be a contest. That's the difference between a factory car and a non-factory car, I guess. Going through turn one very, very fast. In qualifying trim, these cars were flat out in real life through that corner. Hard to believe, but that's the way it was in those days. And by the way, if you wonder about these particular prototypes versus the modern ones that race, the modern IMSA prototypes, these cars are around 5 to 6 seconds faster per lap. 10 years older, and almost 10 seconds faster. So we work close out to the curbing a little bit. Quite a bit of understeer through that corner as usual. So we work up through the gears. Looking at the Lowe's Fernandez Acura. And he's getting an awfully good tow from the Penske RS Spider. Those two Spiders really creating quite a draft. I probably have my sixth gear a little bit high. Ooh, and I thought the Penske Spider was going to run into the Acura there, the Lowe's Fernandez car. We're going to dive up the inside of the Penske Spider. He's not going to have any potential recourse there. And we're also going to get around the Lowe's Fernandez car. Down into turn number one. Once again, down 2 gears. Look for that apex. Oh, around the outside of the Penske Spider. Yeah, take that, Roger. Whoa, he's working his way back to the inside. Boy, he looked. He had a look on me. He had a look on me, but he didn't quite pull it off. And now we're starting to slice our way through the field here on lap 5. Oh, whoa, way out over the curb there. That's a bit naughty. And it looks like, yeah, the P1 cars aren't really pulling away as much as you would think they would. Looks like the DeFerrin Racing ARX Acura is still hanging with some of the P1 cars. But most of them have been able to pull away. Wow, the Fernandez car's coming up through the field too. He's managed to pass both of the RS Spiders from Penske, or all 3 of them technically. The 2 that are together. Not the one that's kind of bottom feeding right now at the tail end of the field. We come down the hill, arc the car in, and start to look at the back of this Dyson Racing RS Spider. I'm going to think better of that one. I had the position the last time when I got an RS Spider there, the Penske one. I don't really think I had an opportunity to get around the Dyson car. Now we're going to be held up all the way down the S's. I'm going to power off of the corner, side by side with a Dyson. Oh, wow, he didn't give me any room. Woo! That was quite the squeeze right there. Sliding the rear end there. Getting a little bit of a tank slapper coming onto the back straightaway. Over the crest of the hill. Side by side. And this is where we side drafted the Penske Porsche. But this time the Dyson Porsche. We're going to still be side by side all the way down to the braking zone. think we got around him. Yes, we did. Just saw him in the mirror there. I'll tell you what, that Fernandez Acura is really coming through the field. Like I said before, he's kind of hanging with me there. Just a little bit. Oh, where'd he go? Well, he's on the main straightaway with me. And he got around the Penske Spiders, which I'm kind of surprised the RS Spiders aren't as competitive. Oop, that's a cone kill. As they otherwise, you would think they would be in this race. Regardless, it looks like the first P1 car we're going to have to deal with is the Peugeot 908, which is not leading the race. That's kind of interesting because in this era, that car was so dominant, but it was kind of unreliable. And the Farron Acura is really staying up with the Peugeot. So let's see if we can chase these guys down. Look how much faster the LMP1 cars are in the straight line now. Those cars are going to be close to 200 miles an hour down here on the back straight. And as you can see, 175 is about what the Acura P2 car tops out at. Whoa, that was a big slide. Down the hill. Starting to catch up to the DeFerrin Acura. Around the outside. Nope. Wasn't going to happen quite there. Still a long way to go. Not even halfway through the race just yet. Ooh, that was a tank slapper. Another one. Oh, and the Peugeot got a little bit loose there at the bottom of the hill. So we've got the Audi R10s leading the race from the Peugeot 908 and 2 of the ARX Acuras. And the rest of the P2 field is pretty much curtains at the moment. If I get out in front, maybe I'll slow everybody down, maybe do a little bit of a cheeky move to try to block everybody up and have a kind of a restart. We'll see if I can do that. Regardless, just working the Acura through the paces, and you can see how much the DeFerrin Acura closes on the Peugeot there. But down the front straightaway, the Peugeot pulls away just a little bit. No, DeFerrin's right there. So are we. Fourth gear. Make sure we woe it down there. I didn't want to get on the throttle too much and run up the back of the DeFerrin Acura. So essentially we've got ALMS 2009 right now because we've got the Audis, the Peugeot, and the DeFerrin Acura, as well as the Highcroft Acura. Well, I guess just for Sebring and Petit Le Mans that year. Because the economy crashed and Penske decided they wanted to go Grand Cham race it. Because Daytona prototypes are totally cooler than the RS Spider. Yep, good job, Penske. Thank you. Regardless, look how far the 908 pulls away from that part of the track. So much faster. But we'll start to close the gap down, the two Acura prototypes here. Oh, I almost had a run there. I was a little too close to the back end of the DeFerrin Acura. This must have been the car that was on the pole overall. Work in behind him. Down through the S's. Looking side by side with the DeFerrin Acura. Can I get around him? It's going to be awfully close. Oh no. Get the better position into that corner. And I've missed that apex by a country friggin' mile right there. And didn't get the best run either off of that corner. and the DeFerrin Acura will start to pull away. But I do think the DeFerrin car is starting to hold me up just a little bit, so if I can get a shot at him. Well, locking up the brakes probably wasn't the best idea in the entire world. Oh, look at that. He got a little bit loose. I'm probably too close to it this time. Yeah, I'm going to have to back out of it. Yeah, I got to run. Is there anywhere to go? Nope. Let him have that corner for now. That was quite a corner cut. Well, maybe it wasn't a corner cut. I don't know. I knocked the cone over in like lap 2, so the world will never know. Oh, so close to the back of the Panasonic car here. By the way, Simon Pagenaud was one of the drivers in that car ahead of me at the time, as well as Jill DeFerrin and Scott Dixon. So a lot of IndyCar talent. I should mention as well, the Andretti Green Acura was fielded, or had Tony Kanaan and Marco Andretti in it, as well as Frank Montagny, I believe, was the other driver. Oh, Frank Montagny. Yeah, he drove IndyCars once, twice, 3 times, something like that. And he got busted for synthetic cocaine. Whoa, we're over the grass there. Not the best idea in the entire world. This car was driven by, the one I'm driving was driven by David Brabham, Scott Sharp, former IndyCar driver, and Dario Franchitti, who at that time was just deciding that his NASCAR days were behind him and that he would drive IndyCars the next year as we go around the outside of the DeFerrin Acura, and he almost got into the back of me. I had to bail out of it just a little bit there, but we move up into the P2 lead, but we don't want the P2 lead. We want the overall win. So let's see if we can close it down on these overall leading P1 cars with 8 laps to go here at Road Atlanta. The 2 Audis leading the race. The 2 Peugeots. Okay, well, I screwed up. There are 2 Peugeots in this race, 1 Audi. I wonder when I made that error. Oh well. Well, Peugeot, I guess in this universe, ran the ALMS, and the Audi was the one that was the different car that was showing up. Oh well. Down to 2nd gear, sliding the car just a little bit there. Well, killing another cone. Taking a little too much out of the chicane, no doubt about it. So that 908, the other 908 Peugeot is really bearing down the Audi then. So the Audis are kind of the underdog here, with only 1 entry in this race, as we're just going to come in behind the Peugeot. Look to the inside, nowhere really to go at the moment. That will trigger me a little bit because the Peugeot in this game is only available with the 09 aero upgrades, so you can't have the actual full-length rear wing 908, which would have raced in this race. But that's a minor nitpick, I suppose. Down into 2nd gear. Up through the gears again. And look at these P1 cars, they're going to pull away. It's amazing how much time the DeFerrin Acura lost. It was right here up with these cars, and now he's several seconds behind. Oh, the Peugeot tried on the R10, and now everybody is coming together here at the front of the field. Let's see if I can get the Peugeot. Yeah, oh yeah, baby, look at that. All right, so now we got 2 P1 cars to try to battle with here. We've got a lot of horsepower under those hoods. V12 engines for both of these cars. Diesel power, lots of torque. Incredible aerodynamics, particularly on the Peugeot. That was a time when closed cockpit prototypes weren't necessarily in vogue, but the 908 certainly put them back in vogue. Now watch the straightaway speed difference, because they didn't get the best run anyway. But those cars are just going to absolutely pull away from me, and the car that's really probably going to catch up is the 908 behind me. Look at that. Look at the speed difference. He's going to actually pull by me on the straight. Park me at the apex. I can't really respond. I'm looking. Look how much time I lost, too. On the backstretch there. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Well, that Peugeot, now he's going to go on the outside, and he doesn't have enough time to build the momentum up. But I'm going to give him the time, because I'm going to go out on the grass. I'm going to have to let him around, because otherwise he was going to run me over there. That's unfortunate. With 5 laps to go in the race. We're going to battle down the straightaway here. Where is he? Side by side. Well, we're past him. Okay, never mind. Oh, contact. Oh, dive bomb. City from the Peugeot. He knew he had to do that, though. He knew he had to do that, otherwise he was in trouble. Because he was going to have to battle me on the straight, and now he's got all the room in the world. And here comes the DeFerrin Acura, who has been unopposed coming up through the field. There he is. He's still a long way off, though. And the Audi is still holding it down at the front of the field. So we need to try to get around the Peugeot. The second place, or the third place Peugeot, and I think I'm going to do it. You got to really send it off into turn 1 this time. No going out in the grass, David. Much better. All right, that should have put enough gap, especially once we head down the S's, that I won't have to worry too much about respondents on the straightaway from the 908 behind me. Oh, another tank slapper over the curb there. Was lucky to get away with that one. Trying to get a good run this time. It was decent. But those LMP1 cars very, very, very quick down the straightaway. No way to really battle with them. But the 908 behind me is so far behind that I will not have to worry about that, which is good. So the strategery worked out very well there. Through the gears, down the hill. Got to make it up on this section of the course. Because if it comes down to a last lap shootout, those P1 cars are going to have quite the speed advantage on the final sector. So slowed down there. Going to pretty much be caught behind these cars. There's no real reason to force it right here. But it's not going to stop me from getting a run on the Peugeot and actually getting around him. So 2 pugs in the rearview mirror. But I don't think it's going to stay that way for long. Maybe it will. Yeah, I managed to stay ahead and break up the P1 party at the front of the field. So now it's Audi versus Acura. But the Peugeot is probably going to come back into the fray here, I suspect. Especially down the back stretch. Especially when I get up into 6th gear. Here comes the Peugeot. Not even going to be a contest. Look at how fast he goes by. Woo! This is where the contest is, the corners. Got to be careful. I know I'm going to outdo him here. Swing kind of wide. Wow, that was close. That was close, but I got around him. Oh, that was down 1 gear. Well, that's close to flat out. And get right up on the back bumper of this good old-fashioned Audi R10. With 2 laps to go, or 3 laps to go technically because of the way Forza counts the laps. Gonna get the run off of the hairpin. And it looks like I'm actually keeping better pace with the R10 than I am with the 908. And the draft of the R10 really helped me out right there. All the way down to second gear, find those apexes. This might be it. This might be it. Nope. I didn't time it right. Didn't time it right. 2 laps to go. Whoa, 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 whoa. That was... that was a send. That was a send. It wasn't a good one, though. Looking to try to get around the Audi. Just absolutely abusing the slipstream right there. It wasn't bad. It was a lot closer than I thought I would be. Look at the Audi, kind of power slide. Is it diesel torque? Alright, here we go. Maybe come up to the white flag this time around. Who's going to win Petit Le Mans 2008? Will it be a P1 car or a P2 car? Here we go. We're going to find out. Down the back straightaway, here comes the Peugeot. He might have something to say about that. Oh, yeah, he might have something to say about that. Oh, last of the late breakers into the chicane. Under the bridge. There you go, look at that. White flag is out. Acura leads Petit Le Mans. Or as John Heindahl says, Petit Le Mans. Petit Le Mans. Acura leading this race. Now I will see myself out. But here we go. Gonna pour it on now. Gotta get a wow. I said I gotta get a decent lead. I got a decent lead. We'll see what the gap is like. 1.4 seconds up on my best lap. I'd say that's pretty good. As we head down the back straightaway for the final time, I think I got it cleared way out in front of the Audi R10. Way out in front. All the way down into second. Find those apex curves. Down underneath the bridge. The P1 cars won't be able to challenge me. I will take a win for Acura and Porsche in the 2008 Petit Le Mans. So that was the 2008 Petit Le Mans recreated in Forza Motorsport 4. I hope you enjoyed this. I certainly did. It was a great dose of nostalgia. Wow, look at that camera angle and cone killing. So, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been David Land on YouTube. I'll actually be at the Petit Le Mans this year, I guess, to celebrate the 10th anniversary of this race as well. So if you see me there, be sure to say hi, and we'll see you in the next video. So be sure to subscribe for more motorsport, Le Mans, and I guess Petit Le Mans content. We'll see you in the next video.